Hi, it's Sherry Dinkins with a quick review on how to use the ICC database and then what to do with those quotes when you're getting ready to write your argument essay. There's a second video on how to use Google's advanced search. You'll find that below this video. So this is the article that I was upset about, that I think something should be done about this. So this is my starting off point or my jumping off point. They said there's something called forever chemicals. When I do my search, if I don't find anything under this term, I'm going to use this term. So the original article that kind of got me upset that I think something should be done about often will give me kind of substitute terms that I can look up as well. So keep that in mind. You can always go back to that original article. So here's what my outline looks so far. Now let's say that Congress, if there wasn't already a bill, so this actually says these people are introducing a bill. So my job is kind of already being done. I'm just saying who should approve it. Get on and do your job and approve it, Congress, or wherever it's sitting right now. But let's say there wasn't somebody already working on this. That means I need to figure out a way, how can I create a bill, for the whole US of A. So what I want to do is actually check who is my state representative in Illinois. So as I can click on any of these first things, and what they're going to do is they're going to ask me, hey, can you put in your street address? I'm going to try the other one, it's a little bit easier. Can you put in your street address, and we're going to find all your government representatives. Now I already did mine a little bit earlier today, and this is my old address. But I'm just a mile from there, so it doesn't really matter for me. That you'll put in your street address, and it will tell you, hey, who's your president? Who's your vice president? Who's the senator for you? Who's your U.S. representative? So these are really important folks that represent you. These senators can create bills or put in laws. So what I want to do, if I didn't already have a law that was created that we're trying to get approved, I could then take this information and say, Senator Tammy, and then you could use Dick Durbin as well, it doesn't matter, must propose a bill. And now the rest of it is really just kind of the same, the same thing I had before. And now I'm just making it her problem. So if I don't have something that's already in the works, a bill that just needs to be approved, I need to be kind of creative and say, who can propose that bill for me? I can't propose a bill. The president can only pass executive orders. So I need to find somebody who represents me that can say, hey, I'm going to create a bill. And believe it or not, you can actually email these folks and ask them to do things. I've emailed several government representatives about a current bill about puppy mills in Illinois that actually got passed, not because I wrote them. But so just kind of a suggestion, if you're trapped, you're trying to work up a thesis statement and your topic isn't quite as easy as this one. So I'm going to go to the search engine at the ICC library and put that PFAS term in there. As I'm getting results, you're going to notice it asks me to sign in. What it wants to do is give me more articles. If you're having trouble with the login, you can still use all of these resources. It's going to be okay. And what I want to do is actually go ahead and tell people I want to read the whole article, not a summary of the article. So I want it to be available online. I also don't want a book. I don't want a book report. So I'm kind of Xing those guys out. I don't really want like a encyclopedia entry. That's just weird. So there's some things I don't like, but the things I do like are articles, newspapers. As long as you kind of blue check a couple of things, you're going to get some results. But I'd like to also get rid of the stuff I don't want. I'm also going to look at the publication date. PFASs haven't been around that long, but it looks like there's something that was written in 1900. That's not current. So I'm going to go from like maybe 2009 to 2021. That's still pretty current. So now I've actually gotten rid of some of the other stuff. There's one book that's still trying to stick it out with me, so I'm going to make sure that I'm applying these filters before I hit enter. I think I might have hit enter kind of quickly there. So I want to make sure I only want articles, I only want newspaper articles, I don't want book chapters, I don't want books, I don't want ebooks, I don't want book reports. So I'm going to be careful this time and make sure, already got that I click on apply filters. So let's see if we get rid of that book. Yay, the book is gone. So it doesn't mean you can't use a book. You can technically use a book for this assignment. Most people are not going to flip through a whole electronic book, even if they search for a term, to find one quote, and they need like 2, 4, 6 quotes or whatever. So most people aren't going to do that. So as I'm glancing through, I'm getting a lot of different results. And I'm not sure if any of them work for my specific argument. So I'm going to go back to my argument. One thing I like to do to kind of make it, oops, that needs to be capital S. I'm going to actually take these and make an outline form. This is just so that I can keep track of what I have and what I don't have. As I'm tabbing over and I'm putting little X's here, what I'm doing is reminding myself, Sherry, you don't have any short quotes yet. So, whoops. So, Sherry, you need to get at least 2 to 3 short quotes for each of these reasons. If I don't find any short quotes, it means probably need to rewrite that reason. And that's okay. That's where my instructor and the tutors come in to help me. So it looks like poisoning people who use these products. It's something about the environment, something about babies. So I'm going to go back to my results, and you know, these are all just very general articles. So I'm going to go to advanced search, and I'm going to use an and term, and environment. Now I'm going to hit search again. Now sometimes when I do this, it brings these other things back, so I need to go back through and tell them I want something that's available online. I want something pretty new. And I also want to get rid of the book. So whenever I change everything up above, it sort of releases those filters, so I need to go back through. But hey, I'm the boss of my own you know, research. I'm the one doing the research. I get to make choices. I don't mind doing the hard work. You know, if I want a good grade, it's going to take a little time. So I'm going to apply those filters again. And now what I should see, oh, that sounds bad. Yeah, that sounds bad too. That sounds bad. So it sounds like there's still some stuff about babies, but there's stuff about environment. So I'm going to just kind of grab this lake environment. As you're clicking on these, if it turns out you don't like the article or whatever, you can click on the X and go back to your original search. So don't worry, you're not trapped in one of these. So I'm going to actually click on the first result to open up and view the article. Now this one says I have to sign in, and I'm not that interested. I'm going to keep going to the next place that found the article and tell it to find it for me. This one also says I need to log in. So I'm going to kind of go to Research Library, maybe see if that gives it to me. So sometimes they want you to create an account, log in. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Even if it says the document is not available, I can still find it. So what I want to do is I want to take this title. Oops, and get it to do it. And I'm just going to go back. I can go back in here and search it. I can also, if I'm kind of having trouble finding it, I can just go to the next article. So this one might have it. Let's see, it has the abstract. Here it is. So this one did have it. Sometimes it's frustrating to have to kind of keep clicking, but we did find it, so that's bad. Or actually, it's good for us, but it's bad for the environment. So instead of reading the whole thing, what I want to do is I want to hit Control F, and hit the word environment. So every time the word environment is coming up, it's going to actually highlight that. So I actually see it in a lot of places. I'm going to skip to the conclusion. It also has a lot of information about kind of what they discussed. This just says we need to discuss it further. So it's not really that great of an article. It looked good initially, but it does take time to kind of find out something that's going to work for me. So I'm going to try the second article here. And then notice where it says View Online. I can then go to one of these links and actually find the article. But like before, I may have to kind of look for it several times. This one, for some reason, did not show it. So I'm going to kind of grab the next one. And I just keep clicking these little guys open until one of them shows me the actual article. So, oh, okay. Oh, no, it actually just has an abstract. Let's see what the whole article is. Sometimes it will give me View Full Text. So I can then click on this and actually see the whole article. Okay, so there it is. Then I can do Control F and find anywhere where the word environment appears everywhere. So I'm going to kind of skip to the conclusion because I don't have time to read all 27 pages of this fascinating article, and kind of see what are their results, what's their conclusions. Ooh, wow, okay. Okay. Talking about how they're getting rid of it. This is threat to human life. That's actually a really interesting sentence. So I actually accidentally found something for one of my other reasons, which is it's bad for people, right? So I'm going to just kind of tuck that sentence in here. Now, clearly, I can't just throw that into my whole essay without telling people where it came from. So that's why I'm putting a quote mark before and after it. And I want to kind of see, there's two places I can find a citation button for this. Usually there's one kind of up here, how to cite it. But I'm just going to use the easier one that appears here, how to cite it. So wherever I've used information from this, I want to copy this citation. I want to make sure it's going to be on the next page. And kind of get myself another page. I'm kind of doing a page break, so my works cited is on the second page. So different than the annotated bibliography, we have to create a works cited page that's a separate page. So our works cited page actually was a works cited page for the annotated bibliography. Now we're creating a separate page. So I want to make sure, okay, this person, I'm going to kind of make sure what's their first, what's their last name. Abinada. I'm going to kind of check this and make sure, see if that's, Zayed is actually his first name. So they goofed up my little thing there. I can fix it because I'm in charge of this. I noticed that Zayed is his first name, not his last name, so I'm going to kind of scooch that over. The other thing I noticed is there's a magazine called Water that's not, that's not italicized. I'm going to italicize that. The rest of it looks fine. Now, clearly, I haven't grabbed my whole document and gotten all the kind of formatting done, so I'm just going to kind of do a couple of quick things so that it kind of looks more like what you're used to. I don't want to use the double space here if I'm on MS Word. Here, since I'm in Google Docs, it's not going to add extra spaces before and after. And I kind of missed my little page break. Boing. There it goes. Woohoo! I want to center that. I want to take out the extra stuff before this. And then I just want to grab this and move this indent over, make a hanging indent, just like we did with the annotated bibliography. Now, we're not going to use any sort of summary here because we're just actually using this information in our essay. So I'm going to go back here and make sure right after I have my quote, I want to put this person's last name, put a period. So when I start creating a whole body paragraph, and I kind of am going to make this my whole body paragraph, along with a lot of other sentences explaining each quote, writing around each quote, whatever that is, to see how I want it to work out, I want to make sure that I've got 3 quotes for each of them. 2 might be okay. This actually says environment. I don't know if I want it to be in here or for there, but it does says human life. So this one I'm on the fence. I may use it in either place. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that. And as I find other sources, I may move this down to here if I can't find a lot of sources there. So as you're kind of creating, you'll notice how difficult it was to kind of keep going through, and if you find something, sometimes it's not what you want, you have to X out and find something that you do want. If the article doesn't immediately come up, there's other options that you can do. It looks like California is making some changes. I want to load more results if I want. So only one of my many quotes needs to be from the database. The rest of them can be just Googled, and that's in another video on how to do Google Advanced Search and then how to create a works cited entry for that. If you're kind of curious, like, well, how did Sherry know that needs to be italicized, or how does she know all that stuff? Just go back to your ICC Blackboard site, go to MLA format, and it will actually show you how to format things. It will also tell you, hey, if you find something online, here's what it should look like. If you're finding a book, if you're finding a magazine, if you're finding a website. So when I do the next video, this kind of helps me figure out what to put where. So I've happened to memorize it, but if you haven't memorized it, you can say, hey, work from a library subscription service. That's what I just used, ICC database. It needs to look like this: last name, first name. If there are multiple authors, we put et al., which means a lot of people. If there isn't, we just put the one author's name. We put the title of the article, the title of the magazine in italics. There's a lot of other things that go through there and you can kind of recheck your entry to kind of say, does my entry sort of look like that entry? So that is part of the process of writing an essay and being responsible for my sources, is I am responsible for rechecking to make sure it looks correct according to a more authoritative document, like when I go to my MLA works cited area and kind of recheck it. So that's the video on how to create a works cited entry, how to create an in-text citation, which is right here, and then how to get a quote that you're going to use for that essay. And as I mentioned, this is an outline so far. I haven't made it into an essay format, but there is more information on how to do that. So thanks a lot for watching the video.